Hi, welcome back to Mind Control.
I want you to think about your life. And I want you to think about your income. I want you to think about money. Money's subject that is a subject that not a lot of people want to talk about. And when you do talk about it, a lot of people get defensive. They say, well, money's not everything. Well, that's sort of a ridiculous statement. Of course it's not everything. But money's important. It's very important. I frequently ask a person if they come to work with me, what's the most you've ever earned in a year? I really don't care what the answer is, but I want to know what the answer is. Because when they tell me the answer, what they're doing is telling me where their mind is programmed with respect to money. See, our mind is programmed. You're working with a program, I'm working with a program. Now, most people are working with a program that someone else built. They are the production of somebody else's habitual way of thinking. I'm going to suggest that you can rewrite the program.
The problems that you're facing, maybe the lack of money, or the loved ones telling you you're crazy, you're wasting your time, get a job. What do you do?
If you've already got it, it's really good to hear it again. If you haven't got it, you're going to love it. It's really about how to create all you want. You have to have multiple sources of income. You can go back to the ancient Babylonians, as far back in ancient history as you can go, and you're going to find that the wealthy people all had multiple sources of income. 3% of our population are earning 97% of all the money that's being earned. And everybody says that's unfair. Well, it's based on a law. That's really what it's based on. Our income is the harvest of our production. That's really what it is. But 3%, some of those 3% are not very well educated, insofar as we look at education. Some of them are functionally illiterate. They can neither read nor write. Now, some of them are absolutely brilliant. But you're going to find people that are absolutely brilliant that fall into the 97% category that have to split up 3% of the money that's earned. Why and how does this happen? My income went from $4,000 to $175,000 in a year. And it was based on the concept that I want to explain to you here. But what we have to understand is that the earning of money is something that doesn't happen by accident. Wealthy people historically have always had multiple sources of income. This isn't an accident. It's by design. You can design this. There is an absolute law that governs compensation. We know that there's a law. If I let this go, you know it's going to fall. If I let this go, it's going to fall. It's not going to go up. It has to go down. It has to go down. That is an absolute law. It's called the law of gravity. That's a law of the world. The law of compensation is a law. And it's very exact. I want you to really pay attention to it, because this law clearly states that the amount of money you earn is in direct ratio, it's in exact ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing it. You see, in my particular business, there's the opportunity to earn millions of dollars, and I have earned millions of dollars. Not because I'm smarter than the next guy, and it's not because I'm lucky. It's because I find myself in a field where there's a tremendous need for what I do. When you find a tremendous need, and then you develop your ability to fill it, you've got to become very, very good at filling the need. Take a bucket of water and put your hand in up to the wrist. When you pull it up, the hole that remains is just how much will be missed. You can stir all you want as you enter, stir up the water galore, stop and you're going to find no time. It's much the same as before. Well, what they were getting across is there's no such thing as an indispensable person. But some people are very difficult to replace. And if you make up your mind you're going to get really good at this, you just want to focus on your ability to improve. Become a master of whatever you're doing. Now, this is the focus. The money is the reward. This is the cause, the money is the effect. Take care of the cause, the effect will always take care of itself. Think of Elvis Presley. His estate is still earning money from records of his that are being played on the radio. And those recordings are being played on the radio, and every time they're played, money goes into his estate. That's called a passive income. That's called a source of income. Well, you can start sources of income. You can start them all over the world. You may say, well, how? Well, you don't have to know how. You just have to make a decision that you're going to do it. The how will come. Don't let the how trip you. And once you get one going, then you get another one. See, I believe you can set up sources of income that are very closely attached to what you're already doing. You may say, well, I don't know how to do this. Well, of course you don't. Not to start with. I didn't know how to do when I started. I didn't even know how to read very well when I started. I hadn't gone to school. I had 2 months high school. I had no business experience. How did I start? I'll tell you exactly how I started. I borrowed $1,000. I bought a used forming machine and some buckets and mops. I started in the cleaning business. And I started by cleaning one office, washing the floor twice a month, $15 a time. Then I got another office at $65 a month. Now I'm up to $95. I was only earning $400 a month to start with. But you know, one day I passed out in the street. I thought the answer was work harder, get another office. But it didn't work that way. I was exhausted. I thought the answer was work harder. That is not the answer. I realized it was like something inside of me said, Bob, you're doing something wrong. And then another little voice said, if you can't clean all of them, don't clean any of them. Do you know, over the next 5 years, I was cleaning offices in Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Cleveland, London, England. And the income was just rolling in from all over the place. Now, I'm not telling you to go clean offices. I'm telling you that I stumbled on something. It took me 10 years to find out what I was doing different. I had set up multiple sources of income. Now, as you set these up, you'll be asking, well, are they all the same size? Do you earn the same on all of them? No. Some of them won't even work. Some of them will die on you. There's so many ways of doing it. You could become a network marketer. You could become an online marketer. You could become an affiliate marketer. See, you want to make a decision that you are going to set up multiple sources of income. You don't have to know how. When you make the decision, you will start to attract how you're going to do it. Some of them will grow and some of them will die. But you know something? They all have one thing in common. They all flow into your bank. Some will be big and some will be small. It's absolutely phenomenal how this works. It all flows into your bank. Great idea. Just an absolutely beautiful idea. That's right. That's where it happens. Now that's an affirmation I've been using for a long, long time. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. You keep repeating a positive statement. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Now, we started out by saying only 3% of the people earn 97% of all the money. So the odds of your kids growing up to learn how to earn money is pretty slim. If you don't teach them, they probably won't get it because they're not going to get it in school. School does not teach us how to earn money. There's no place they say, well, that's absurd. You go to work to earn money. No, you don't. That's not a good idea. You think you provide service to earn money. You can earn more money when you're sleeping than you can spend when you're awake once you get good at this. Now, we all get the same amount of time. We get all there is. So it's what we do with our time that's really going to make the difference. 3% of the population are following this strategy. It's where you invest money to earn money. How do they do this different? They set up multiple sources of income. They multiply their time by setting up multiple sources of income. Now, if you really want to win in a big way, that's how you're going to do it. It's so basic and so simple. Well, you can learn more about it, but you want to study. You want to study. Money. Multiple sources of income. MSIs. There's no end to what you can do. There's absolutely no end to what you can do. But you've got to decide what you're going to do. Sit down and write out how you want to live. And it doesn't matter what it costs. You write it down, and then you only think of how to do it. And you set up multiple sources. Now, let's suppose you have never touched a computer in your life. You're going to learn how to use the computer, how to work with it. It's going to take you a while. And the strange thing about computers, when you learn something, it leads you into learning something else, and then you learn something else. It's sort of like an evolution that takes place in your mind as you start working. At least that's the way I found it, and most of the people I know. When I first started, I didn't even know how to turn it on. But when you make up your mind that you're going to earn yourself a specific amount of money every year, I said that magic million. Anybody can learn how to earn $1 million. I believe I can teach anybody how to do that. You've got to decide you're going to do it. And if you don't decide you're going to do it, the odds of it happening are pretty slim. How's it going to happen overnight? No, nothing happens overnight like that. But over a period of time, let's say over 6 months, you're going to learn how to master this thing. You're going to learn how to set up MSIs. And after you learn how to do it, then you're going to start to learn how to multiply it.
It's been said and ingrained in us that either you are a spiritual person or you are a rich, wealthy, successful person. One or the other, and the two shall never cross. That, my friends, is not only incorrect, it's completely bogus. It's old school. It's an old way of thinking. It doesn't work today in today's world and for today's conscious person. You can be kind, generous, loving, balanced, and spiritual, and really, really rich. And my highest recommendation is that you do all of it. So each of us has a personal money blueprint already ingrained in our subconscious mind. And it is this blueprint that will determine your financial life. Your money blueprint is basically how you think around money, success, wealth, and rich people. Bottom line, your money blueprint will determine your financial life. It is the root of your success, mediocrity, failure. If you are not using spiritual laws, you are missing out on the highest level of wisdom. When you ride on the ship, on the wind of the spirit, on the wind of the universe, and use the universe's power, you will naturally succeed. You know, I always wanted to be a millionaire, but it wasn't coming. I spent 10 years struggling. I had 4 businesses that actually went under in 1 year. I was lying on this lawn chair at my parents' condo because I couldn't afford any rent. And I was looking up to the sky, and I was just crying. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. I was embarrassed. I didn't know where to go. And I just looked up and I said, universe, please, 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 somehow, if you help me, if you somehow I make it, I promise you, I will help other people do the same thing. So now, the reason I do what I do is you can just do it. This program is very unusual in that it's almost like a success satsang. I wanted to make sure that we were dealing with people's real issues in the real world, in real life. We're going to go through the 8 specific areas that most people have the biggest problems with. We're going to clear those areas, and then we're going to give people strategies, knowledge, and techniques within those areas to place on top. We have money and spirituality. The more spiritual you are, the richer you can and should be. You use those spiritual principles in order to enhance your success. And I'll say this right now, listen closely. If you want to get rich, if you want to have a lot of money, stop focusing on money. I said it. Money is a result. Wealth is a result. It's a result of adding to people's lives. And I'm going to give you the exact formula of how you do that in a spiritual way. Money, self-worth, and deservedness. I can tell you, most people feel this. It's not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not sure I deserve it. Why me? My friends, that is a big problem. Next, money, balance, and enjoying the journey along the way. People all the time, Harv, I know if I work really hard and I focus, I might be able to succeed, but what about the balance in my life? Where's the joy? When is there any time to do anything else and enjoy the rest of my life? Next, money and money management. I'm going to give you the easiest, simplest, most effective method for handling your money. You're going to teach it to your kids. You're going to use it all the time. You're going to be laughing as you do it. It is so fun, and it works. Purpose and passion. You need to live with passion in order to get rich and keep your money. You need to live on purpose in order to ever feel fulfilled in your life and keep your money if you're a conscious person. The next one here, how to handle fear. And when you learn this methodology, I promise you, you will be able to take action regardless of. The number one cause of all relationship breakup is what? Money. And I'm going to show you exactly how to work with not only your partner in life, your spouse, or your kids, your coworkers, your bosses, your clients, etc., around money. And I'll tell you this: if there's been one area where students have come up to me and go, that changed my life immediately, it's this area. Finally, we're going to work with money, high income, and financial freedom. We've got to get rid of that worry. We've got to get you free. And I will teach you how to make a lot of money and help a lot of people. And I'll tell you what, if you do it the way I'm teaching you, you can become financially free. Thousands. I know that's a bold promise. I'll tell you this, just do what I've asked you to do it, and you'll see something you've never seen before. I'm T. Harv Eker, and I look so forward to working with you.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Please also like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and families. Please watch our other motivational videos. Thank you again.
It was people's opinion of me that changed. You know, I got more, and I'm the same dude, but your opinion of me has changed. Now you think I'm all that. When in actuality, I really am humbled by all this. I really can't believe God let me have it. I'm clear about that. I am so clear about that. It ain't me. It's not me. See, I know the decisions I made, and I know how it got me where I got to. I know how my life turned out when I gave it over to Him. I gave my life to God. Now, I may not be the Christian you think I ought to be, but once again, your opinion of me, it doesn't matter to me. I've just learned not to allow people opinion of me to bother me or stop me. Publicly, man, I've been ridiculed and ate alive on that internet. You this, he think he this, I can't stand him. He this, he that. You know, I've been everything on the internet. I don't care. When you get through reading that stuff, cut your TV on. Turn it to almost any channel you want to. 7 days a week. The little dude that you keep hating on, that God I serve, he ain't hated me yet. He ain't hated me not now time. And I've discovered something. Look, man, what God got for you, nobody, no hater, no employer, no coworker can stop nothing God has for you. God is in the blessing business, but better than that, He's in the forgiving business. See, if God wasn't a forgiving God, I'm not here today. But God had to forgive me. See, I just never let my failures define me. See, when you make a mistake, just get up and go again. What you tripping for? I made public mistakes, man. Let me tell you something, man. When on Miss Universe, I have to apologize. I took that myself. You know how many people wrote me off? You know how many letters I got from TV execs? We're proud of you for doing the right thing, but oh my God, a horrible mistake. I hope you're gonna be okay. You hope I'm gonna be, my career over because of that? People wrote me off. You know what? I just got up. I kept coming to work. I'm back. I just kept coming. I kept showing up. Because eventually, well, what you gonna do? The time has come. You know, my father used to always tell me something. You're gonna either get over it or die mad. You got two choices. You can get past it or you can die mad. Now, if you want to die mad, carry your ass on. And just die mad. But God forgave me, so I got up and I kept going. Your mistakes don't define you. Life is 10% what happened to you, is 90% what you do about it. I just stood up like I had some dignity. And I just kept performing, kept telling jokes, kept entertaining people. To the part now where it don't even matter. That pageant is the biggest pageant they've ever had. Just keep living, y'all. Keep waking up in the morning.
Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity.
If you want to have something show up in your life, the kind of person you would like to become, manifest something new into your life, something powerful, whatever it might be, you obviously must first be able to imagine it. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. So, what kind of attention do you place on your desires? Einstein's most famous quote, one of his most famous observations, he said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Logic will get you from A to B, but imagination will take you everywhere. Make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That which you feel yourself to be, you are. And you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish. And your wish must be realized. So live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. If this assumption about what you would like to become is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is absolutely inevitable. You must first assume the feeling of a wish fulfilled in all aspects of your life. Don't allow anybody else's opinions. Don't allow what it says on the internet. Don't allow the research. Don't allow what anybody out there tells you is possible or not possible for you. If you advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams and endeavor to live the life which you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. It will chase after you if you can place into your imagination what it is that you would like to attract and begin to feel it. Start retraining your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, it responds to what it is that you suggest to it. Your subconscious mind rules your life. 96 to 97% of everything that you do is done as a result of your subconscious mind. And when your subconscious mind gets programmed, it goes ahead and responds to whatever it is your conscious mind has placed into it. You are the creator. This is the mystery. This is the great secret known by the seers and prophets and mystics throughout the ages. This is the truth that you can never know intellectually.
Many of you, as I have been, as I am, are where you are in your life based upon what you believe. And it's not just what you think you believe on the surface, it's also your shadow beliefs that are holding you back from moving into the life that you believe you deserve. What I know is if you're not looking at the shadows, if you're not looking at what is subconsciously running through the tape in your mind, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough, which is a tape that's playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not out of what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself.
You are where you are today, in part because of what you've been saying about yourself. Words are like seeds. When you speak something out, you give life to what you're saying. If you continue to say it, eventually that can become a reality. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. And this is great when we're saying things like, I'm blessed, I'm strong, I will accomplish my dreams, I'm coming out of debt. That's not just being positive, you are prophesying victory, prophesying success, prophesying new levels. Your life will move in the direction of your words. But too many people go around prophesying just the opposite. I never get any good breaks. I'll never get back in shape. Business is slow. I'll probably get laid off. Flu season is here. I always get it. They don't realize they are prophesying defeat. It's just like they're calling in bad breaks, mediocrity, lack.
You don't become what you want because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. That's why Jim Carrey's story is so powerful, because he started to act as though he already had it. He would go up to Mulholland Drive. He would drive away thinking, I already have those things. I just haven't accessed them as yet. I believe those things are going to come to me, and I'm going to act like they are. So I'm going to move forward in my life in order to draw that to myself in such a way that my actions are in alignment with what I say I believe. So if you start to think about that, really, why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.
Do you know why true friends are considered a treasure these days? Because it's so damn hard to find one. Unfortunately, most of us are surrounded by toxic people who only pretend to be our friends so long as they can use us. It has become very difficult to spot these fake friends because most of them have become real pros at faking friendships. In my experience, these are the people who associate themselves with you for all the wrong reasons. Even if you expect a good time, you're eventually bound to have a terrible experience with these supposedly good friends. Number 1, they don't tolerate differences in opinion. Look, real friends always joke around and argue about both trivial and serious matters. Fake friends also discuss these things, but here's the difference. They won't let you win. These friends won't let you rest until they've pointed out how they're absolutely right. Somehow, it's them who know the full context and have all the correct opinions. In other words, fake friends require unearned, full-on support. There's no room for compromise. And you know what? This is bad for your emotional and mental well-being. You should have an avenue to voice out your opinions without being harassed. If your opinion is discriminatory, you should get reprimanded in a peaceful manner. And if it's them who say really offensive things, they should own up as well. Sadly, fake friends have this issue. they have a hard time accepting they're wrong. It's as if you're just there to please them all the time. You're not a friend to them. In truth, you're just someone expected to parrot their opinions. And if you keep on disagreeing with them, they will stop talking to you until you ask for their forgiveness. Respect is a foreign word to them. Number 2, they make excuses and break their promises. There's one pretty popular saying about friendship. It goes something like this: real friends will always have your back. Well, this isn't completely true because even the best of friends have many responsibilities. It still helps us understand why we'd want to have genuine friends. In contrast, your fake friends won't care at all. And you know what? We get it. It's completely understandable to decline an invite to hang out if you're busy. Friends shouldn't force friends to participate in social activities, but to always be unavailable? That's a trademark characteristic of fake friends. If you have fake friends in your life who are wearing you down, you simply have to learn to stand up for yourself, because you do have a choice in the matter. Number 3, you're only an emotional outlet to them. We've all had this experience. After class or work, you meet your dearest friend and talk about anything and everything. You ask each other questions. How is work? Did you see anyone you're attracted to today? What book are you reading now? The point is, you share moments with each other. Both of you feel lighter and more enriched, knowing that there's someone willing to listen to you, and vice versa. So, what's the deal with fake friends? Well, they still listen to your rants and raves, and you're all ears when it's time for them to speak out. But here's the problem. They're more keen to rant than to rave when they're with you. Worse, they listen to your advice that they asked for, but they won't actually change their ways. In short, you're just there so that they can vent about everything. Maybe something good happened yesterday to them, but even so, they'll focus on the bad things that happened to them yesterday, or throughout the week, or the past few months even. Do you know about stress management? It's why some people do yoga every weekend. Some play video games. Others read a book while having a good cup of coffee. Then, there are those who scream into their pillow. Yet, even the last option is better than what fake friends do. You are their chosen way to release stress. Number 4, they're only around to get what they want. Have you experienced this? As you're browsing Facebook, a friend request pops out of nowhere. You check it out, and you're amused. It's someone you know at work or at school. You two have never really interacted beyond the usual greetings upon seeing each other at the elevator or down the hall. You can't even remember their name. But so what? You then proceed to accept their friend request. Soon enough, you realize the purpose of this supposed friendship. It starts out like this. They ask you how your day was. You guys talk about the stress of working or school life. You know, trivial stuff. But then something happens. Out of a sudden, they concentrate on a specific topic. This could be about your current partner, or your ex, or one of your siblings. This could even be about a possible crazy drunken night you had many, many years ago. You're not exactly sure why they want to know about something so personal, but since you already see them as a good friend, you open up to them. So, how does this connect to fake friends? Well, it's because they're only around you to get information. Perhaps they're a close friend of someone you broke up with. They only want to know who you're with now, or if you're feeling miserable that you lost your ex. Another reason for them contacting you is that they're jealous of your recent promotion. This friend of yours is really just hoping to get a shameful story from you which they can use for bullying. The main point is, they have no genuine interest in being friends with you. Number 5, they can't keep a secret. It's common to develop a crush on someone. It's also not rare to share secrets about love to your friends. After all, it's fun to have someone to tell stories with. Plus, who doesn't like getting teased once in a while about their love interests? So, here's the dilemma. Fake friends don't know when to shut up. It's as if it's in their nature to spill the beans the moment you're not around. They don't care about your right to privacy, or that you trust them enough to keep a secret. For them, it's all about the drama. They'll even tell lies if they have to. This is because spilling secrets makes them feel like they have power, that somehow this will make them more popular or better in the eyes of others. Do you know about Gossip Girl? It's like that. Fake friends are just waiting for the next big juicy gossip from their friends. As long as it's not about them, they're more than ready to let the world know ASAP.
We have a tendency to think that a new date and a new year and a new decade ensures a new you. But the reality is, it is not the ticking of a clock that brings about the transformative power. It is not as though God waited on a particular day and said, if you make it past this date to a new calendar date, I swear I'm going to bless you. No, it's not that simple. The truth of the matter is, change does not come easy.
It's very hard. And you have to challenge yourself to discipline your mind, to just focus on what are the most important things that you need to do right now in the midst of it. Number one, to fortify yourself mentally and emotionally, to develop a level of mental resilience, because there's so many unexpected things every day.
I know a couple things about New Year's Day, and I know a couple things about the new year. One is, it's going to go real fast. Number two is, it's a new chance, a new beginning. So I would encourage you today to set aside a few minutes, look at your life, make a couple of New Year's promises and resolutions to yourself, ones that have high ideals, ones that'll make you better, and start this new beginning, this fresh start today on the right foot.
And so it shows a state of mind that many people are facing as a result of the coronavirus. So it's focusing one's mind. We can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on.
Change does not come easy. Now, this is going to be tough to hear because it is antithetical to what you are used to hearing. You're used to hearing spin around 3 times and God's gonna break it. 5 ways to have a great marriage and 3 ways to start your life over, and eat this and you'll drop 100 pounds, and take this pill and you'll be back able to get into the dress you wore to the prom. But the truth of the matter is, a day of not eating at Wendy's doesn't constitute a diet, and you're not going to be transformed easily or quickly.
If nothing ever prevented you from being the best version of yourself, nobody told you you were limited, you had never failed at anything, and you know you wouldn't fail going forward, what would you dream? How big would your dreams be?
Gratitude in advance is the most powerful and creative force in the universe. The quote reads, "Be grateful for all things because all things have contributed to your advancement. Therefore, all things should be included in your gratitude," right? Wins and losses, opposition, adversity, challenges, right? Stages and phases, right? Lessons and blessings. And for most of us, 2020, it was a year of pain. It was a year of people look back on it like, man, I can't find nothing to be grateful for. But the ability to learn is a gift, even when pain is our teacher. Right? And as we move into 2021, I think the thing that we must always be cognizant of is painful endings always lead to new beginnings.
Those who study trends in corporate America suggest that in order to change, not the building, you can change the building quickly, not the name, you can change the name legally and quite proficiently, but to change the culture of an organization is quite difficult. The invisible aesthetics and accoutrements that go along with an entity is difficult to change. Most experts suggest that 1 to 3 years at a minimum to change the culture of an organization. You can change the wallpaper. Changing the culture of a marriage is not easy. I have been doing marital counseling for 43 years. And let me tell you something. By the time you see most couples, the culture of the marriage is so baked in that nobody will listen at anybody because everybody on both sides think they are right. And yet they come for change and they walk away without change, because change doesn't come because you come to my office. Change doesn't come because you took a diet pill. Change doesn't come because you lifted up a barbell for a week. Change doesn't come because you hired a new CEO. Change doesn't come because you changed the name of the entity. Change doesn't come because you dyed your gray hair blonde. Change doesn't come because you shave your head off and put on an earring. Real substantive change that changes you at the core is difficult to attain.
I've been thinking about gratitude lately and why it's such an important and powerful state of awareness. When you have gratitude, you are holding on to a particular sort of awareness. It's a powerful and transformative awareness. And what's more is that you don't have to do anything to get it. You don't have to buy it or work for it. You just have to live it. I like something John F. Kennedy said once about gratitude. He said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. But how do you do that? How do you live a life of gratitude when you are too busy trying to live? I have enough sense to be grateful when the big things happen. When the growth they found and took 6 days to test wasn't cancer after all. I have enough sense to be grateful when my bonus was a lot more than I thought it would be. The big things make us pause and reflect. Then we say, whew, thank goodness. But you forget about the small things. You forget how to live in gratitude for the small things. You forget about your warm house. Or if your house isn't warm, you forget about the fact that you have a roof over your head. And if you don't have a roof over your head, you forget about the fact that your heart is still beating. You forget about the people who make you laugh and who make you feel validated or loved. You know, hearing myself say that, these aren't really small things. They are things you take for granted so they become small and you start noticing them.
Don't allow the pull to pull you down. And where you just give up and let go and give up on your dream and your hope and your position and your posture and all of the things that God has done into your life, and you fall into the abyss of your base nature and let it just drive you further and further down. Who knows how far down gravity would pull you if Earth were not in the way? How far down is down? We don't know. All we know is that there is a law that by nature pulls us down. And we have to fight to think up, to live up, to pray up, to walk up, to do the right thing, to forgive people, to be balanced, to discipline ourselves. It's an ongoing battle. But the battle is a blessing. I want you to understand, I want to encourage somebody that's in the fight right now, that the fact that you're in the fight is a sign that you've been changed because you didn't used to fight it.
But again, how do you live a life of gratitude? Maybe the question isn't how, but why? Why live a life of gratitude? I think the answer has to do with selfishness. See, I don't mean selfish with a small s. That's when you care about yourself at the expense of everyone else. No, I mean selfish with a big S. That's when you care about yourself so deeply that your care extends to everyone else. Put yourself first. Give yourself an advantage. How do you feel? If I said you could feel revivified and empowered, you would want more of it. Remember, you're being selfish. So if I said you could feel more connected and more compassionate, you would want more of it. You want more of it because gratitude is another expression of love. How do you feel when you are grateful? You feel like you are not going through life alone. You feel as though someone or somebody is with you. You feel connected to something other than you. You feel cared about. And when you feel cared about, you care about. Don't just think about it, be about it. Gratitude isn't just about thank you. It's not the word. It's not just about the feeling. Gratitude is about living the feeling. Live the life of gratitude.
Some of us have lulled our desire to change to sleep, and we are satisfied just to be stabilized. And when you are around people who see success merely as stability, it is quite frustrating because they resist the propensity to change, and they will fight you off if you try to change because they think survival is success. But the reality is, I'm the kind of person is I don't want to soak up sunshine, drink water, and breathe air and stay the same way I was at 40 that I was at 20. I want to learn something. I want to grow somewhere. I want to increase in some area of my life. I want to be able to have quantifiable results. I resist people who waste my time. Yes, I resist you. I resist you. I resist you. I make war with you. I come against you. I would rather you waste my money than waste my time. I can get some more money, but I can't get some more time. Do not waste my time.